Tonight on NAIT NewsWatch.
Edmontonians fight for their right to party.
It's improving. The scene's getting much better.
Community-based gang prevention programs get a boost.
Essentially, it's organized crime funding organizations against crime.
The University of Alberta becomes a national leader in health.
Makes it easier for us to cultivate and develop relationships.
NAIT NewsWatch starts right now.
Good evening. Safety at after-hours events was up for discussion this week regarding one of Western Canada's most popular music events.
The music festivals, as popular as they are, have had numerous drug incidents in the past. Our Avery Lewis McDougall has more on this from our news center.
The license review discussion was meant to propose changes to how after-hour events like Elements are regulated to make them safer for the public. The Elements Music Festival attracts musical acts and over 10,000 fans to the Edmonton Expo Center, but it has had its share of drug issues in the past. Edmonton Police Service Detective Nicole Chapdelaine brought forward to council suggestions to avoid similar occurrences. They include raising the fines for promoters who have events without city permission, having the city events office oversee events at city-run venues.
This report is basically, okay, we had this event, what do we learn from, where do we go from here as a city? If we want to have these events, and I think it's something that people are interested in having, because we don't want to say to one demographic or one culture, one genre that we can't have it. Can we do it? Can we do it safely?
Boudin Music Canada promoter Viet Nagun also spoke to City Council, saying that the Elements event is improving its safety policy and the drug problem is on the decline.
We're doing our best, and we did zero transports on Halloween, 4 on Thanksgiving long weekend. Out of 11,000 tickets, it's improving. The scene's getting much better.
After our events, the Elements, which is held here at the Edmonton Expo Center, due to supporters from within City Hall, who believe that when run safely, it is of no threat to the public. Councillor Carrie Diot is in favor of the changes to after-hour events and speaks highly of Elements, which he has gone to before.
I think putting some rules and regulations around them is the way to go, and it shows again on the Friday that when I attended that event, it was well policed. People were happy. There were very few incidents, and we learned that we can do them well.
Some of the councillors, such as Amarjeet Sohi, are still very uneasy about after-hours events and said to promoters that this was basically their last chance to clean things up, or the plug could be pulled.
Now, Avery, what type of drugs were found at Elements?
Police said they found cocaine, ketamine, and also traces of ecstasy, so making sure this becomes a drug-free event is of the utmost importance, Matt.
The report recommends the city events office should oversee a number of facilities in our city. Which ones would city staff target?
They include the Shaw Conference Center, Telus Field, Rexall Place, Commonwealth Stadium, and Northlands.
Thank you, Avery. That was Avery Lewis McDougall, live from our news center.
You're watching NAIT NewsWatch.
This week, the Government of Alberta celebrated 5 years of crime prevention through the Safe Communities program.
To mark the occasion, they announced the new funding for 8 community-based programs aimed at steering at-risk youth away from gangs.
Safe Communities started in 2008 to help take a proactive approach to crime prevention. UCAN, a part of the Gang Reduction Network, is doing just that, empowering youth by giving them skills they need to succeed so they don't turn to crime.
Able to kind of pick themselves up and be proactive with their life and look forward and move towards the stuff they actually want to achieve.
The RCMP said underprivileged and marginalized youth, especially in smaller communities and on reserves, are often attracted to the glamour of the gang lifestyle. Now, initiatives at the community level will be able to encourage youth to make better choices rather than see them end up behind bars or worse.
I was very negative before, so I was kind of negative towards life, but then when I got here, I just seen a lot of conflict resolution, a lot of life management skills, and it just brought me up. So it makes me happy to be here.
Critics argued that while these programs have merit, to be effective, you have to enforce the law with stricter punishments for gang members.
But of course, at the end of the day, you need to convict these people, you need to put them behind bars to actually have a real deterrent.
However, the officers who deal with these problems on the street say that heavier penalties are not a solution.
We have far too many Aboriginal peoples in the justice system and jails, and that tells us there's something that's not working. And we've got to engage the communities. We've got to mobilize them.
The Justice Minister said the $1 million going to these community anti-crime groups was collected through Alberta's Civil Forfeiture Fund.
Essentially, it's organized crime funding organizations against crime.
Although the initial 5-year plan for the Safe Communities initiative is up, the minister said the government is looking to announce the next phase soon. Police have arrested a man in connection to a series of bank robberies and thefts. Leonard Richard Collins is accused of committing 8 robberies and 2 thefts, dating as far back as 2009. The crimes took place in the Edmonton area, Calgary, and Winnipeg. The Edmonton Police Service issued a statement following the arrest.
This was a long and complex investigation. We believe that the arrest of this individual was possible because of an organized effort by the multiple police agencies involved and the assistance of the Canadian Bankers Association.
Collins has been charged with 9 counts of robbery and 2 counts of theft under $5,000.
The University of Alberta has made Canadian history in this week in its health department. The university's Public Health Academy has received accreditation from the Council on Education for Public Health, the first in Canada to do so. The accreditation will help put the school and its students on the map in order to attract the best resources and relationships for furthering medical research and studies.
I hope that this just helps to raise awareness about the field of public health and makes it easier for us to cultivate and develop relationships with our communities and the government and the broader public in Alberta.
The CEPH is the only council responsible for giving accreditation to health programs around the world. The school under evaluation must pass over 20 criteria and meet an educational quality standard. Other accredited schools include Yale and Harvard.
Techies gathered at the 30th Annual ICE Conference this week to swap ideas with fellow information technology gurus. The 3-day event, hosted at the Shaw Conference Center downtown, aims to promote networking and sharing of ideas within the IT community.
The group here feel very successful when we see the grassroots people, the community people, the developers, the database people come in and actually get a chance to network, get to see high-quality speakers and learn something.
The benefits of technical advances are far-reaching, allowing people like keynote speaker Jeff Adams to overcome his disability and pursue his Paralympic dreams.
Well, being invited to a conference by KIPS that celebrates both the achievements of Special Olympians and also lets people understand the value of networking are 2 things that are very close to my heart. So to be able to be a part of it was an amazing thing.
Jeff hopes that conferences like ICE continue to spread awareness and have a positive effect on the future of technology in Paralympics.
IT enthusiasts, business owners, and NAIT staff gathered at Ernest's restaurant this week for a presentation made by a social media expert. Michael Brito, author of Smart Business, Social Business, took the floor over a complimentary breakfast Tuesday morning to present the concept behind his book and explain the power of social media. Brito explained not only the advantages of social media, but the potential risk it carries as well.
So the media companies and manufacturers know that today's youth, we have ADD, right? We're doing 100 things at once. We're on multiple networks. And so I think too much social media is when you can't accomplish other things.
Brito states that in order for social media to be an effective business tool, those using it must manage their message and keep it consistent in order to be successful.
It was supposed to be the war to end all wars. Now, every year at the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, Canadians mark the end of the First World War by pausing to remember those who have served in our military. The poppy, inspired by the flowers that sprouted from the graves of fallen soldiers in Flanders Fields, serves as a symbol to honor our veterans, old and young alike.
We have good, sound Canadians that step forward and wear our uniform of our country proudly, and if it means the supreme sacrifice, they're willing to step forward, like my generation was.
Donations collected through the Poppy Fund go to the Royal Canadian Legion and benefit veterans and soldiers in their time of need. Tory says that it is critically important that we take this time to reflect on our history, lest we be doomed to repeat it.
Pause for a moment and think of what's gone on in the past and hope that it doesn't happen in the future.
For more information about Veterans Day, go to veterans.gc.ca. Coming up after the break, how you could be suffering with depression and not even know it.
The consequences of juggling more responsibilities than you can handle could be more severe than you think.
You have to put twice the effort into it to get your homework done and study for tests.
And in sports, our reporter tries his hand at hitting the shuttle.
You want to hit a shuttle very, very high and deep.
And a few more flurries coming up within the next week. We have a couple of days where we start off good, some sun, and then the Arctic cold kicks in. I'll have a little bit more coming up after the break.
Snow, then ice, then more snow. It's safe to say that winter is officially upon us.
It happened sooner than some thought, making winter driving an early and at times unpleasant surprise. Bad road conditions are a main source of problems after this week's heavy snowfall. Hundreds of weather-related accidents have been reported since Monday, including one fatality. Even if the snow was sudden, as some Edmontonians state, being prepared for these coming cold months is crucial.
I think this is the most important thing, like to slow down.
If you don't have your winter tires on, definitely get on that because it helps a lot.
Give yourself more time to get to where you're going, and make sure your car is properly equipped for driving in the winter. Proper tires, good brakes.
In 2010, the Alberta Board of Transportation released statistics showing the highest holiday collision rate was in the winter during the Christmas season, which is now a little over a month away.
And standing out in these icy conditions is our weather reporter, May Anderson. May, how's it looking out there?
Well, you definitely have to keep moving if you want to keep warm. You can definitely feel the cold winds setting in. Winter is upon us. There will be an Arctic high coming in from the northwest later on in the week, so that will affect us. Our highs are going to be nearly -10, but right now, for the weekend, we're looking at some pretty good conditions. We'll check it out right now, what's happening in the province tomorrow. In Calgary, it's going to be sunny, a high of -6 and a low of -19. In Jasper, again, sunny, some nice sun, high of -7 and a low of -25. It could get chilly there. And in Fort McMurray, again, sunny, a high of -7, 20% chance precipitation flurries. And in Edmonton, we'll have some sun as well, a high of -6 and a low of -18. The average temperature this time of the year is about -1, so we are below average. And the record high is 18 in 1905, and a record low is -31 in 1940.
Weather is brought to you by NR92, the station for the students.
So again, just want a reminder, there is a lot of ice and snow going around on the roads right now. Take every precautionary measure if you have to go out, and if not, please stay inside.
Will do. Thank you so much, May.
You're welcome.
Happy I'm indoors?
Oh, very, very happy.
College can be an exciting yet stressful time for young adults.
Trying to juggle academics, clubs, and social life can be a definite challenge. Some college students are becoming overwhelmed, resulting in feelings of anxiety or depression. Our Taylor Jackson has more.
It's a lot to study for in a short period of time.
As academic pressures rise and fall, so do anxiety levels. Roommate and relationship problems, homesickness, weather, and adjustment to the college life are leaving students with feelings of depression and anxiety.
You can't think when you're stressed, and you have to put twice the effort into it to get your homework done and study for tests.
Definitely stress and depression are on the rise in terms of what we see, as well as more severe mental health issues are increasing at all campuses, not just NAIT.
Students are also worried about the economic uncertainty. Underemployment and other financial concerns are also taking a toll on young Canadians' mental health. A survey for the Sun Life Financial Canada found that a surprising 90% of people between 18 and 24 years of age feel excessive stress compared to 72% of all adult Canadians. While many students are battling feelings of depression or anxiety, not very many students know what can be done to combat it.
Well, student counseling is free and confidential for all registered NAIT students, so that's definitely an option. And, we work through issues and look at strategies that might help them cope better.
Margaret advises that if you are feeling depressed or anxious, you should head to the gym for some exercise, find a hobby and distract yourself, and maintain a balanced social and work life.
I try not to let it get to me too much. I try to make it a point to study and take a break even for a half hour or hour a night.
The counseling team at NAIT hope to guide the students who visit them towards better decisions and better health. Taylor Jackson, NAIT NewsWatch.
Now our own Dylan LaLiberté joins us with sports, and I heard you have some awesome highlights from the NAIT versus Augustana game.
And you tried badminton for your end zone challenge?
Yep, there's a lot more to badminton than you may think. All that's coming up right now. It was glory or go home for both men and women Ook soccer team. They were on opposite sides of the country late this week, both seeking the same goal at nationals. The Ooks women's soccer team, senior practicing last week, made it to the semifinals in PEI, but the Aoustik team was able to pull off the win in a close game. The final score ending up 2-1 for the Aoustik team, so the best they could shoot for is bronze. The men's team also dropped the game, and the best they could do is bronze today. Ooks were trying to keep their home unbeaten streak alive against a longtime rival. In the second period, Harrison Trouble put one past Ooks goalie Chris Moore to make it 1-0 Augustana. A minute later, Kenny Bradley scored for Augustana, giving them a 2-goal lead. 6 minutes into the third, the Ooks fought back with Kyle Harris scoring the Ooks' first goal. Andy Williberg ties up the game for the Ooks, causing the game to go to overtime. After a hard fight from both teams, neither teams were able to get one in the back of the net.
I mean, we're just trying to play our best every game and, trying to get points. So it was nice to, get 2 out of the 4 this weekend. It would have been nice to get 4, but, we'll take what we can get right now.
The Ooks are in action against McEwen this weekend. The heart and soul of the Eskimos' defense has received even more accolades on Edmonton's J.C. Sherritt was named the CFL's Western Division's Player of the Year, beating out BC Adams, Big Hill, Calgary, Charleston Hughes, and Saskatchewan's Tyrone Breckenridge. The second-year Eskimo linebacker set the CFL record for the most tackles in the season with 130, breaking former Toronto linebacker Calvin Tiggle's mark of 129 set in 1994. Sherritt is match up against Shea Emery for the Alouettes for the top defensive prize. In this week's End Zone Challenge, I decided to give the world's second most popular sport a go. At first, I thought badminton might be something I might be able to sell at with a bit of practice, but after talking with the assistant coach, Shannon Lim, I started to have second thoughts.
So they have professionals that do it on a full-time basis, 8 hours a day, 6 days a week, all year round. So if you want to be top world level, that's what you gotta do. That's the sacrifice you have to make.
You put your arm up.
After a quick chat with the assistant coach, I got some instruction from one of the players on the team.
Yeah, that's very good.
Jason Chow taught me some of the basics, such as a clear shot.
Yeah. So basically, in badminton, we have some different shots. The first one we say is a clear. Clear means you want to hit a shot up very, very high and deep. to the corner. So better is that you turn.
After I had a good idea of how to do each shot, I learned about the footwork involved with the sport.
Right, we say move back to the base position, move back to the left-handed, the left foot gonna be your left. But if you're holding racket with your right, then you're gonna be right foot. So, are you ready?
Once I had a bit of time to practice my shot and footwork, I had a quick match against Jason. Even with my new badminton skills, I was unable to pull off a win against Jason.
The Ooks badminton team is a top competitor at the national level. How was it to get out on the court with them?
They make it look easy.
Yeah, so are you ready to try out for the team next season?
Maybe after I get more practice in.
All right, thanks, Dylan.
Coming up after the break, the NAIT NewsWatch team sets out to give a helping hand to the hungry.
The Meals on Wheels program welcomes Matt and I into the world of volunteering.
I don't have to ask neighbors or my family.
Coming up in entertainment,
I'm going to teach you how to be a rodeo clown, because it doesn't get any better than this. Have a good day.
NAIT NewsWatch jackets provided by Bramco Contracting.
Meals on Wheels provides meal solutions for seniors and those with mobility issues who might otherwise not have a reliable source of food.
Claire and I braved the elements this week to help deliver hot meals to the doors of those in need. Aside from delivering meals, volunteers provide cheery company to those who may not be able to leave their homes.
Those little interactions that you get with people, that makes your day. You know, it makes you feel so good and feel so much better that it's just such a rewarding experience.
We got the chance to meet a variety of people on our route who are all grateful for the help of maintaining their independence.
It means everything, because then I don't have to ask neighbors or my family or anything like that. It helps me feel a little bit more independent.
The service operates year-round and is always looking for volunteers in the kitchen and on the road.
From pointed toes and pliés to rock and roll, our entertainment reporter, Rhianne McDonald-Zwicker, checks it all out.
She was at the debut of Rock of Ages and the Edmonton stop for the National Ballet School auditions. All that and more coming up in entertainment.
big hair, and even bigger voices. The 80s take over the Jubilee for Rock of Ages. Step into the theater and you're taken back to the 80s. From the neon signs to the brash attitudes, Rock of Ages encompasses the genre. The show is definitely on the racy side, with provocative dancing being the calmest. Rock of Ages follows a small-town Kansas girl moving to LA for her shot at fame.
Actually, I think I'm here for good.
The Bourbon Room is the main location where all the characters work, pursue their dreams, and fall in love. Of course, with challenges along the way.
Listen to the radio, don't you remember? We built this city.
For those of you who saw the movie earlier this year, it differs, but it still follows the same plot. The musical runs until November 11th. It's glitz, glam, and glory for rodeo and pageant contestants, but we're going to check out what else there is besides clowning around for the rodeo clown.
Your mother's a cow, your sister's a heifer. Dennis, that is not politically correct.
Much of a rodeo clown's job is what it seems, joking around and putting a smile on people's faces during the slower parts of the rodeo. But the rodeo clown gig isn't as easy as he makes it look.
I want to buy that bull. I want to give it to Mrs. Halstead for a wedding present.
I think people are a little naive to our business. It's not just about being a funny guy in the arena and stuff. Timing is a secret to our business. My job at a rodeo, of course, is to make sure if there's a lull or a slow spot in the rodeo, I'm the entertainer. I pick it up and fill those slow spots and stuff.
As one of the top 5 rodeo clowns in the world, he sure makes even the scariest situations seem like a blast. You can check out Dennis and all the other entertainment at the Canadian Finals Rodeo till November 11th at Rexall Place.
Many try, but only the best of the best get the chance of making it into Canada's National Ballet School. The audition is not for a spot in the school, but for one in the summer program. From there, the school determines from flexibility, skill, and passion if the dancer is the right fit for the school. The expertise of the teachers they are performing in front of may seem staggering, with some of them coming from across the world to be a part of this school. They look for love, passion, and natural ability rather than focusing on perfection.
We're not just looking at how much training one has at this point, but really looking at potential, and if we think that our program would suit that individual.
Determination to succeed starts young for aspiring ballet dancers, with these dancers being no older than 11. Out of all the auditions across Canada, only around 150 ballerinas will be accepted into the summer school in Toronto. Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Lawrence co-star in Silver Linings Playbook, a love story with the underlining message to learn to live with life's problems instead of running.
This is what I believe to be true. You have to do everything you can, and if you stay positive, you have a shot at a silver lining.
Divorced from his wife, institutionalized, and then released, Bradley Cooper's character, Pat, must learn to cope with his newly developed mental illness. Robert De Niro and Jackie Weaver play as caring but somewhat dysfunctional parents that Pat is now in the care of.
The whole time you're rooting for this Hemingway guy to survive the war and to be with the woman that he loves.
It's 4 o'clock in the morning, Pat.
I can't apologize. I will apologize on behalf of Ernest Hemingway, because that's who's to blame here.
Yeah, have Ernest Hemingway call us and apologize to us, too.
Jennifer Lawrence plays Tiffany, Pat's only chance of getting back with his wife. But Tiffany won't help him without a favor in return. Through their journey, they learn not only about each other, but about themselves.
Are you going to walk me home or what?
You have poor social skills. You have a problem.
I have a problem?
Mm-hmm.
You say more inappropriate things than appropriate things.
The movie portrays the love of family and friends, and that there can be silver linings for everyone. In theaters, November 21st. Well, that's it for entertainment this week. Back to you, Claire and Matt.
Thanks, Rianne. Well, it seemed like she had a lot of fun there.
Yeah, it did. That's all the time we have for tonight. Be sure to check us out at naitnewswatch.ca. Have a good one.